Alright, we're just going to do an updated video on my collection of all my handheld stuff now that I've gotten rid of some stuff and just kind of slimmed down a little bit. I'm still debating on a few titles, but mostly it's gotten to the point that I want it to be. So we're going to be going over PlayStation Vita, PlayStation Portable, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, and 3DS, which I don't have much of, so it shouldn't take too long. I think we only have less than 100 games, so not too bad. Now, here is... Well, let's start with Vita and kind of work our way back, I guess. So, first off, we have Ragnarok Odyssey, which is a fun, just very basic action RPG, but really good time, and it was not too long, if I remember correctly. And I'm pretty sure that Vita is when manuals started to become not such a thing, so even without manual, they're usually complete. And then the ones with manuals are just nice bonuses. But I do recommend Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, I think. Yeah, Ace is the subtitle because it's like a more complete version of the game. But it was a good time. It is somewhat forgettable after all the games I do play, but I do remember having a good enough time to finish it. So I definitely recommend it, plus it is one of the few more affordable Vita games, since they do like to go up in price. Now, up next, another good basic action RPG type thing. This one's more of a Diablo-like top-down sort of thing. Lots of fun, good short game for the most part, and also no manual, but most likely still complete. But I always like a good Diablo-like game, and they're hard to find good ones, especially since Diablo itself is not really a good Diablo-like anymore. So I'm always looking for good ones that kind of pass me by. And then we have Dragon Fantasy. This is a really good turn-based, retro-style, more the like Super Nintendo type of aesthetic, and it's just a good turn-based RPG. Like, just a very basic, good, short, turn-based RPG, and even though it's from Limited Run, I'm pretty sure this one's somewhat affordable. I remember I got a good deal on like 5 of these on eBay. This was one of the 5 in a lot, and it was really cheap that way, so I got lucky, but I think it doesn't go for much by itself. So definitely recommend it, and yeah, no manual, but still. And then we have one of the heaviest games I own, Summon Night 6, and this is why it's so heavy. That manual is a chunker. Like, it's basically the entire case, the entire Vita case. It just can't even hold, it barely can hold it. So, and it's also like full color, so very beautiful manual. However, even though I finished this game and had a good time, I would never recommend it being the first Summon Night that anyone plays, because it introduces a ton of characters from previous games. I had no knowledge of these characters beforehand. I didn't know much about the game beforehand either, but it's just a fun RTS type of game, kind of like Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics, stuff like that. It's a turn-based, strategy game, but it also has an auto battle mode, so you can grind without even playing it, and I love that, because otherwise I would have had to waste so much time grinding. But no, I could just set my Vita down and tell it to auto battle, and before I know it, I'm strong enough to beat the game. So that was one of my favorite things about this, and I wish more RTS games had something like that, so you don't have to waste all your own time grinding, or if they just do away with grinding in general, that'd be great, like a lot of modern games do. But this one, it was so good for what it was. It makes me really want to try some of the others. I know there's a couple on GBA that are very expensive, and they're like action RPGs, and they're side-scrolling, I think. But every other title in the series is more of a Fire Emblem type of game. So they have a lot. I would really want to try those 2 spin-offs on GBA, because I think they're some of the only ones we ever got in the West, but I don't think we got many of the actual games before it. So that's unfortunate. Gotta love cats. Alright, up next we have Child of Light. This one is a 2D platforming Metroidvania RPG. That's the best I could explain it. Very pretty art style too. It's hand-drawn if I remember right, and the battles take place in a turn-based setting, but the game itself is a 2D platformer with Metroidvania elements if I remember correctly. It's a very unique game, and I think the Vita is the only way you can own it physically last time I checked. I don't know if that's changed since then, but for a while, the Vita was the only physical that existed. And might still be that way. Now, here is Nova 111. This is a stage-based puzzle game, I think. I don't think it was really a platformer, if I remember right. That goes to show how rememberable this one was, because I actually beat it. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's like a turn-based, stage-based type of game where it says, a sci-fi themed turn-based adventure game with a real-time action twist. Explore alien worlds and combat fiendish alien creatures in your quest to restore the flow of time, all in the name of science. Pilot your trusty vessel through mysterious and foreign planets in this original sci-fi adventure. Your mission, fix space-time and search out the scientists lost in the aftermath of the universe's greatest experiment. And it goes on to say a lot more, but yeah, it's just like a really fun, different type of game. And I played every stage because they were pretty easy, like pretty good time, and this one is also pretty affordable for a limited run game. That is one thing I'll say about Vita, like the games may not be going down in price much, if any, but they've kind of stopped going up, at least certain titles have. Now here is As Divine Hearts, which is a Kemco RPG, which most people are not fond of because they're kind of very basic RPGs. This one's one of the better ones. It has a decent story that I don't remember much of at all. It has good basic turn-based combat, and it just has that good retro aesthetic to it, which I enjoy. I like a decent amount of Kemco games, just I haven't beat very many of them. This is one of the only ones I did beat. The others, they kind of, they're fun for a bit, and then I just get distracted by other things. Now, here is Ys, Memory of Silseta, one of the best Vita games I own. One of the best games I own in period. I love Ys, and always will, and this was one of my favorite ones. It was so fun to just go around and like try to uncover the entire map and all that stuff. Plus, the action combat in this is a lot of fun. If you haven't played an Ys game, you are missing out, especially if you like action RPG combat. This is one of the best ones, and it's of that more old style Ys gameplay, not the newer ones, so it's more top down, but lots of fun. Love it. I really want to replay it. Plus, Ys games are so short, you can replay them without feeling like you're wasting a ton of time. Unlike games like this, Tales of Hearts are great game, great action RPG, basically. If you like Tales of games, you would like this one easily. It's very good, it's very underrated because it only exists on the Vita, but hopefully one day we'll get a port of it, since they have been kind of remastering and porting all of the Tales of games that we've already gotten. So hopefully they'll get to the ones that we haven't really had on modern consoles like this, and some of the older ones, Tales of Fantasia and stuff like that. Hopefully we get the ones that we actually haven't gotten in very accessible ways, because that would be great. But only time will tell, and hopefully their porting continues to be decent and they don't mess up like they did on Symphonia again. Now, I really do recommend Tales of Hearts R, though, since no one really knows of it and it's a Vita exclusive. Plus it is one of the more expensive ones, but it's still affordable. It's not like hundreds of dollars. Now, here is Stranger of Sword City. This is one of the hardest first-person dungeon crawlers I've ever played. I will put more time into it eventually, but those are some of the most difficult types of games I've played. I even have it in my Vita case now because it is one I'm trying to beat, or off and on, but probably never will, unless I just really get into dungeon crawlers and get good at them. I don't think I've ever rolled credits on one, aside from Zonky Zero, and that don't really count, because I turned the combat basically off, so that don't count. That was a fun game, though. I do recommend Zonky Zero. I think that's what it's called. Now, this one, however, very beautiful, very difficult. I will probably never beat it, and now my cat is trying to help again. Please don't step on the computer. Taco. Oh. Here. You don't need to be by the computer. You're very helpful, but I don't need your help. Here's one I need to get rid of because of water damage. It was sitting on a counter at my old place, and there was a leak in the ceiling, so the artwork is destroyed. But this is Stealth, a Clone in the Dark Ultimate Edition. It is a stage-based stealth game. Basically, you're just this little dude, and you gotta get through without being seen. It's a lot of fun, but I will have to get better artwork. Thankfully, this game only goes for like 20 or 30 bucks last time I checked, so not much. Now, here's Hyperdimension Neptunia and Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2. So we have Rebirth 1 and 2. I've played some of 1. It's very basic and not really my thing at the moment, so I may end up getting rid of them, but I'm going to try it again sometime whenever I'm in the mood for RPGs again. Right now I'm taking a massive break from RPGs, mostly turn-based. Action ones I can still tolerate, but turn-based I just don't have the patience for right now. I would rather play action games that I can beat in less than 10 hours. It just feels much more fulfilling than sitting and playing one game for 40 plus hours without rolling credits. But I do look forward to getting back into RPGs eventually. I overdid it and beat probably 50 to 100 in the last few years, and that's just way too many. Now, here is Thomas Was Alone. This is one I plan on opening really soon to do a short playthrough of it, because it's only a few hours long, I think, if that, and it's just a 2D platformer with a heavy sense of narrative, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know much about it, I just know the story is supposed to be good, and I want to see what that's all about. So we'll get to this one pretty soon. It would feel nice to knock a Vita game off the backlog again. It's been a while. Speaking of that, here's another short one I could do that with. This is Zeo Drifter. I hear this Metroidvania is probably just a couple hours long, if that. So I would love to just pop it in, beat it in a day, and hell, I could probably do Thomas Was Alone and this in one day, and not 2 off the backlog, and get to open 2 sealed Vita games, which I would love to do, because I don't like having them sealed. Now, here's Jak and Daxter Collection, the original 3 games. Have not played and beaten any of these. They're in my Vita case to be played right now. But I never did grow up on the Jak and Daxter games, so I actually never have beaten the first one, or any of them, for that matter. I grew up more on Ratchet and Clank. I got some of those on PSP and whatnot, but I never have played this, because I did not grow up on Sony consoles, unfortunately. Now, here is one that I think is a little highly overrated. Gravity Rush. I tried beating it, but something about it was not clicking with me. I'll try it again in, I don't know, a year or a few months or something to see if my mood changed on it, but I could not get into it whatsoever. Yeah, I wish I could, because so many people talk highly of that, and I even own the sequel on PS4, so I would like to at least roll credits and not hate the game. But last time I played it, I was not having fun, so I don't know. I'll try it again one day. Here is Dynasty Warriors Next, another one I haven't tried yet, but I plan to, because I want to see if I like the Warriors games at all in general. Because if I do, then I could get some of the spin-offs they've been making nowadays, or I could get some of the older ones and play those. But I don't want to buy any until I play this and see if I like the gameplay loop. Because I know it's just like beating hordes of enemies over and over, so I don't know if I'll be into that. It might just seem too redundant, but we'll see. I'd like to at least give it a shot before I sell it. But that's another one that's really on the cheaper end. It's less than 20 bucks. Now, here is Demon Gaze 2, which I originally was hoping to sell because I thought I got a double pack on Switch, but turns out it's only a remaster of the first game. I don't know why they did that. They should just package both, because it seems really dumb that they only brought the first game to modern consoles. Why? When this game exists and it's already better than the first, so why didn't they do... I hate it when they do that. They've been doing that with a couple titles where they'd bring oh, here's an example, Patapon 1 and 2. They did those 2, but they won't do Patapon 3. Why? It's just so annoying. Like, if you're going to bring one of the older games of a series over, then bring all of them. If there's only a couple or 3 of them, bring them all. Don't just bring 1 or 2. That's so dumb. But this is a first-person dungeon crawler, which is more of an anime fan-base type of dungeon crawler. It's more doable than Stranger of Sword City, but I still haven't rolled credits on the first one, even though I'm at the end, and now I'm probably going to replay it through the Switch version, because I have that now, and it has quality of life improvements. But I also have this, and I want to play this because I haven't played it, and playing dungeon crawlers on the Vita feels better than doing it on the Switch. So even though I don't know. I kind of regret buying that on Switch, because I really like playing dungeon crawlers on Vita, but I thought it was a double pack. And now I'm stuck with this. So I'll have to play that one on Vita and see what it's like, see if it's much better. But here is a Little Big Planet for the Vita. Haven't played much of this. I only played a level or 2, I think. and I enjoyed it, but at the time I was not in the mood for platformers, especially not really simple platformers, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to play it when I'm in the mood for something that just holds your hand and has no challenge to it, which you would think would be more often with me, because I hate it when games are really difficult. So hopefully I get in the mood for this one soon, because I could probably beat it really, really quick. Online pass activation code. Wow. But still, I've heard it's a great game, and it's one of the cheaper ones, obviously, because it's one of the few that Sony actually made. They sure didn't support the Vita long, but they have a few games on it. Now, here's Persona 4 Golden. The artwork is not official, unfortunately, but it's close enough. It still looks decent. And I have not played this for a second. I have played Persona 5 for way too long. I played that for about 100 hours, never even got to the credits because that game just won't freaking end. And after that, I don't even want to play this. I just want to throw it away. Because I doubt I'm going to like it, but at the same time, these are so highly regarded as great JRPGs. I want to at least try 3 and 4. Even though 5 just was not for me at all. Do not like the characters. I hate the high school setting. I hate the social link stuff, and I know they're in all 3 games. So I'll never understand the hype behind some of these JRPGs, like Final Fantasy, stuff like this, way overhyped. There's better RPGs out there by like Ys, Xenoblade Chronicles, stuff like that, way better. I want to finish that one out of spite now, though. And I want to play Persona 3 just out of spite, because I have to play the hyped up games. Now, here's Shiren the Wanderer. This one is much more fun than the previous game I talked about, because this game actually has gameplay. And it's kind of like a roguelike, similar to like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. It's a roguelike like those. It's what those games are based off of. So, top-down dungeon crawling type of game. Lots of fun, lots of gameplay, not too much dialogue. Greatly appreciate that. It's also in my Vita case to be played. And then we have Rainbow Moon, another one I'm working on currently. This is a top-down, open-world RPG with strategy, combat. Yeah, that's the best I could explain that, I guess. Like, it's... You have multiple... Well, you can control 3 characters at once during the combat. And you can have more characters in your party than that. Like, I have, I think, 4 or 5 people. But you can only use 3 per battle. So you have to have it set up to only use 3 of them. And then the other 1 or 2 kind of get left behind all the time. But the battles play in a turn-based strategy type of gameplay. It's very different. It's not like Fire Emblem where you just go battle to battle to battle to battle, no exploration. And it's not like that. This is exploration first and then battle second, kind of. And I love that about that. Plus, it always has a waypoint to tell you where to go. You can always check your missions to know where to go and what you're doing. So I can set this down for weeks on end, pick it up again, and know exactly what to do every time. Because it's a very long game, and I would not want to sit there and play it all in one sitting. Like, I just can't do that with RPGs anymore. I put in a couple hours here and there, and then I sit down, beat a few other games, and then pick it up again. But it's a lot of fun. It's also one of the only other ones with a manual. And it's a pretty thick one. Not as thick as the Summon Night one, but still. Actually, no, it's not thick at all. It's very thin. But it's still nice. Still nice enough. And plus, this game has a sequel out there called Rainbow Skies that exists on PS4. I highly recommend that as well. I'm going to be getting that one soon. Probably after I beat this, because I don't want to keep buying games before I beat what I have. But can't wait to try the sequel and see if it's much better. Now, I think that's all my Vita games, so we will move on to something else. That might stay there without falling. We'll see. Alright. Now, let's go on to PSP now, and then we'll move on to Nintendo. So I have Gladiator Begins here. I have not played this one yet, but it looks really fun. It looks kind of like a Western action RPG type of thing, kind of, maybe. But I look forward to trying it. and I will probably do that sooner rather than later because I really need to play through some of these PSP and Vita games. Now, then we have Death Jr. This is one I grew up on. Great game, great spooky game. You can beat it in just about 5 or 6 hours. It is perfect to play during spooky season. It's in my console now because I want to get through it, and I've been just enjoying picking up here and there. But great game, and I wish this series was still a thing. I don't know why it died. Well, okay, it was Konami. Wait. It was Konami. Konami is making a comeback. Konami, could you please revive the series? Oh, I wish. It is nice that Konami is actually making a comeback. I don't think they're going to revive a series like this, but they are making a new well, they're not making the new Castlevania, but they licensed it to a indie developer to make it, so works for me. If they would license Death Jr. to a different developer, that would be fine. Now, here's Wipeout Pure. It's one of the best racing games on PSP, or Sony in general. They're very similar to F-Zero, kind of. It's like Sony's version of F-Zero, and this one is sealed, so I do plan on opening it and playing it soon. I've played, what was it, the other one? I can't remember. There's 2 Wipeout games on PSP. I have played the other one a lot, but I need to play this one and need to hurry up and open it since it's only like a $10 game, if that. So it's not like I'm losing value if I open it much. Same thing with this, Loco Roco, another sealed one. I need to open it. I've played the second one a little bit because I have it open here. Actually, speaking of that, yeah, well, but yeah, I played some of the second one, had a good time, so I really want to open this one and try it out as well. They are just basic platformers with just, they take advantage of all the, I can't remember. Now I'm drawing a blank. But they play different in how you, like, I think you have to move the world around to make your little yellow dude roll around. So instead of controlling the character, you control the world, and you have to make it, like, slant it a certain way so your character would roll wherever you want him to roll because he's just a little ball. But yeah, very fun little games, and I'm sure they're really short too, so I could knock them off the backlog pretty quick. I do need a new case for this Loco Roco 2, though it's very disgusting. Sticker residue. Ugh. Now, here's Lord of Arcana. It's some sort of RPG that I haven't opened yet. I got it through Video Games Monthly a while back, and I need to open it because I do want to try this one out. I know it's very mediocre, well, based on what I've heard, but it is a Square Enix game, so I'm curious if it would be very good for me or not. Now, here's another sealed game. I've got to open these. Here's Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. This one I'm debating on keeping because I don't know if it's my type of thing. I've never played a Siphon Filter game, so I would rather play one of the open ones I have if I still have them. I think I do somewhere. Well, no, I had a loose one and I sold all my loose games. Damn. I don't know. I'll have to play one of these games without opening this one because I don't even know if I'd like them. But hopefully. They look kind of fun. But I don't really play games like that much anymore, so I don't know. It seems like a stealth shooter game, so maybe, maybe not. But that one's kind of on the chopping block. Now, here's a couple really basic puzzle platformer games that I haven't really gotten too into. I'm still debating on, but they're just fun to pick up and play every now and then, so I don't really want to sell them because they're only worth a couple bucks anyway. So it seems pointless to sell them, but these are Mercury Meltdown and just Mercury. So yeah, the first and the sequel, I guess. But just puzzle platformers, basically. Well, not really platformers. I think they're just puzzle games where you have to get the liquid type of stuff somewhere. I didn't put much time into them. But here's Naruto Shippuden Legends Akatsuki Rising. I have not put a second into this game yet. I have it because I like Naruto, but I also don't like Naruto as much as I did as a kid. I have, yeah, I don't know. It's great for teenagers, but I don't care for it as much as I used to. And now I don't know if I really want this game either, because most of the Naruto games are not even that good. They're just fighting games. Like, I have a couple of the good ones on 360, Broken Bond and Rise of Ninja, but other than those two, I don't think they've ever made a real Naruto game. They're just all fighting games for the most part, and that just doesn't count. But I don't know. I'll at least try it since it is open. But I would love to have a reason to sell it. And I think I do. Now, here is a half-minute hero. This is a very interesting one where you play for 30 seconds at a time to save the world. Different scenarios, all kinds of different things. You could do first action RPG, blazing shooters, swift escort missions, quick-witted strategy, all kinds of different stuff. Wow, I don't think I've even put this into my PSP yet. I need to. That sounds like a good time, and it sounds like a good thing to just pick up and play for a few minutes and set down. So I might do that before long. Now, here is Secret Agent Clank. This is an incredible little fun platformer that I think I own on PS2, and I should sell this version because playing it on PS2 would be better. Especially since it's not complete. Why do I even own this? Well, probably because I had it as a kid and I loved it, and it doesn't even snap. Yeah, that's one I need to sell, even though I love Secret Agent Clank. I want a better copy. I want it on PS2, because I would rather play platformers on that. Playing on the PSP as an adult sucks. I love the PSP, but it just doesn't feel good to play. At all. And then, oh, sorry, Taka. Here is Killzone Liberation. Shooter game that I don't know anything about, but I wanted to try one of the Killzone games before I give up on the series. Maybe they're fun, maybe they're not, but this case also doesn't close. Alright, that's another one I need to sell. Or at least get a better copy of. Now, here is a Riviera, The Promised Land. I need to try this one out and see if I like it. It's an Atlas game, but it's also one that they have recently ported to modern consoles, so I don't know if I need this copy anymore. But it is complete. It's in decent shape aside from State of Residue. But it's some sort of RPG, turn-based RPG, but every time I look up gameplay of it, all I see is dialogue. And that's why I keep putting it off. I'm like, I don't want to play a game that's just reading. I'm sick of that. Now, here's Star Ocean First Departure. This is an action RPG, thankfully, with good exploration and just good everything. I love it. It was a great game. I wish I'd played it on Switch instead, but they didn't have it physical at the time, so that's a problem. Now I have Star Ocean 2 on Switch, which is incredible, so much better. But these two games are connected, unlike the rest of the series, basically, and I highly recommend them both. The First Departure, any way you can get it, perfect. The second one, play Second Story R, it's so good, it's so beautiful. And it's so easy to break that game to where you can just grind so easy. It's such a good time. I do need a cleaner copy of this one, though. Maybe I could get a modern copy and sell it soon. I really want to do that with as much of my games as possible. With all the remakes and remasters we're getting, I would like to get rid of all the older copies I can. Now this one has a sticker I need to get rid of still. Gross. But Untold Legends, and where's my sequel? Oh, damn it. I was hoping it would be close by, but nope. That's confusing. Where? Oh, there it is. It's like, I'd like to get two out of the way at once here. So we have Untold Legends 1 and 2. 1 is the Brotherhood of the Blade, and 2 is Warrior's Code, which is much harder to find, and slightly better. They're both very good games. They're fun Diablo-like games, top-down Diablo-like. They are a great time. I highly recommend them both. They are very underrated. The third game in the series on PS3, The Dark Kingdom, you can skip that one. It's not as good as these two. These two are perfect. I love them. I wish more people played them, but they only exist on PSP, so not many people have. But God, they're so fun. I would like to replay them one day, and that's not something I do with many games. Now, here's the Legend of Heroes, A Tear of Vermilion. I don't know if I'll really like this one much, because it's like the games before the Trails of Cold Steel, and, well, the games before the Trails series took off. These were the Legend of Heroes games before that. There was a trilogy of them. I think this is the first one, I hope. But it is supposed to be not as good as the newer ones, which makes me not want to play it because I don't even like the newer ones that much. They have way too much dialogue. Like Draws a Cold Steel, it just never shuts up. It's just talking, talking, talking. Can I play? No. Okay, then I'll play something else. Because I want to like that series, but it's just visual novels with very mild RPG mechanics. And I'm sick of how hyped up those games are getting by these JRPG YouTubers that just seem to not play anything else. It's very annoying. I'm so burnt out on it. So up next, we have Shaolin Showdown, another disappointment, which sucks because I had this as a kid. I loved it as a kid, bought it as an adult, and realized it's not as good as I remember. It's like a very basic level-based action game. There's just not much to it, which is fine. I like the characters and whatnot. I really need to rewatch the show as an adult because I only saw it a little bit as a kid, and I really liked it. The characters were funny. I really need to watch the show again. I don't even know what streaming services it's on, but I would like to own it if I could. It's probably a lot better than the game. I think they have that game on PS2 as well, and I think it plays different, so I kind of want to try that at some point. But Shaolin Showdown, if you've not watched the show, you should. It's really cute and funny. Now, here is Pixel Junk Monsters Deluxe. This is a tower defense game, I think. Kind of. It's not really my type of thing, but it's cute, so I'll probably keep it for a little bit. But yeah, tower defense sort of type of game. Cute aesthetic. Not much to it. And here's another one that disappointed me. Bomberman Land Touch. Or, yeah, not Touch. Bomberman Land. Touch is the DS one that I think I like more. This one is like a... It's so bad. It's just a mini game collection. And I wanted to play a Bomberman game. Like a good Bomberman game. Not your average Bomberman game. I want a good one. And this is barely average. Here is Deadhead Fred. This is a fun little spooky action adventure game where you play as a deadhead named Fred. It's a classic tale of murder, corruption, revenge, and interchangeable heads. It's a really good time. I'm only halfway through it though, so I need to hurry up and beat it, but I enjoyed the parts that I did play. Now, here is a couple Ys games again. We have Ys the Ark of Nepishtim and Ys 7, so numbers 6 and 7. Now, 6 was the last one that was like a top-down action style, and then 7 is when they changed it to party-based combat. So, you got two different types of combat here from the same series, which is a great series. Love this series so much. I really need to hurry up and play number 10. Now that they have Proud Nordics out in the West, I will get that very soon and play it, but these are great. I think 7 I liked a little more because Ark of Nepishtim had a couple platforming sections that I was not fond of, but other than that, it was great. So that's why I think I like 7 a little more. But either way, I just love the Ys series. Now, here's a couple more games. We have Patapon 1 and 3. I will definitely keep 3 because we're not getting that on modern, but I might sell the first game because we are getting that on modern consoles, and I might get the modern copy at some point. If I do, this case is very clean, and it would be a good replacement for one of my less clean copies. But these are like rhythm-based platformers, by the way. If you don't know what they are, they're just rhythm-based, cute, fun little games. Now, here is What Did I Do to Deserve This, My Lord 2. This is just a weird, like, card-based game, I think. I'm trying to remember. I haven't put much time into this one, but I bought it because the title was funny. But it says, Long live the Overlord. My lord, god of destruction, with our highly upgraded ominousness, let's bash those impertinent human heroes like never before. I don't know how to explain this one. But if you like games with funny titles, here you go. What did I do to deserve this, my lord? Now, here's Jacondia, the Timeless Land. This is a fun little action RPG 2D platformer type of game. I've already beaten this one, had a great time, and it was only like $15, so really good deal. Plus, Axis usually just makes visual novels, and this one actually has gameplay, so I like that. Now, here is Mimana, Ayur Chronicle. I'm about halfway through this one. It's a fun little turn-based RPG. Well, no, it's not turn-based. It was action, actually. It was action in the sense of Tales of games, kind of. It was very similar to those. And I need to put more time into it, because it was actually pretty good when I was playing it. I just got distracted. And just a little burnout on RPGs. Another Axis game before they just turn into a visual novel maker. Which I am sick of. Like, visual novels are nothing. They're no gameplay. Some of them have great stories, but so much of them are just pointless. Now, here is Phantasy Star Portable 1 and 2. I've put a little time into the first one. It's not great. I kind of regret buying it, but I hope the second one's better. It's just, I bought them because they're Phantasy Star, and I was hoping they'd be better. But they are definitely when the series started to die. They are not like the Genesis games at all. They're action combat, though, if you like that. And I usually do, but they're not great. The first one's very basic. And then we only have a few more PSP games, and then we're getting there. Yeah. Alright, we got Medieval Resurrection, great game. Very spooky action-adventure type of game. And it's a remake of the one on PSP. So, highly recommend it if you have not played it. It's very comedic and just great. Like, the characters are so fun. And then we have Innocent Life, a futuristic Harvest Moon. This is a very different Harvest Moon type of game. I put in a few minutes of it because I do like a nice cozy game, but I was not in the mood for this one at the time. It was just a little too basic, which is kind of understandable because I grew up on the Stardew Valley type of games instead of the Harvest Moon ones. So like Stardew Valley has a lot of content. This one is more bare bones, and I don't know. I was getting bored, so I'll probably not keep it, but I'll give it another shot, at least. Plus, I feel like it's a lesser known title, so maybe one day it'll be worth more. Now, here is Pablo Croix. This is a very fun little RPG that I've already beaten, where you play as Prince, what's his face? I can't remember his name. But the characters were really cute, and the story was cute enough. The visuals are just adorable. It was a good time, and very lesser known. Like, I don't hear many people talk about it at all. So, very good game. Then we have Neverland Card Battles, which I've put in a few minutes into this one. It's just a card-based game, so I haven't been in the mood for it, but I will be eventually. So just a nice little card battler before they became as popular as they are now. Then we have Neopets, the Adventures, the Wand of Wishing. Now, this was one I had as a kid that actually was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. As an adult, I enjoyed most of it. I almost beat it, but I think there was something at the end that was getting to be difficult, so I gave up. But, pretty fun little game. Then we have Jeanne d'Arc. This is some sort of strategy RPG, I think. It's very highly regarded, so I would like to try it soonish. Even this copy is very clean and has a manual, so I definitely need to try it. And yeah, it's strategy combat. It looks like Fire Emblem, kind of. Yeah, so hopefully I will try it and not be disappointed, even though it's really highly regarded. Just gotta keep my standards in check. Now, the last PSP game we have is Juiced 2 Hot Imports. I've almost beaten this one. I think it was getting too hard at the end, so I gave up, or I just got distracted, who knows. But it's just a good racing game on PSP, which is a very common genre on that console. Like, racing was a big thing on the PSP. And then with that, we will move on to DS and 3DS. As I break some stuff. Alright, let's go with 3DS. We have Radiant Historia for the 3DS. This is a game that I've heard many good things of, but I have a bad feeling that I'll start it and not like it because it's just one of those that's overhyped. But we will see. I hope I like it. That's why I'm putting it off until I'm really in the mood for an RPG like that. And then we have some Pokemon games. Lots of Pokemon games. Okay, so I think just these 4 on 3DS. Looks like it. Alright, so we have X and Y and Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby. So not much needs to be said about these. I mean, they were some of the good Pokemon games, especially these two, before Pokemon went modern and stopped making fun games. But definitely miss those. Then we have Devil Survivor Overclocked, an SMT game I'll probably end up getting rid of because I don't think it's going to be my vibe, but I got it when I was really into RPGs and really wanted to play them all. But I don't know, this one, I'm just learning that I don't really like Atlas that much. They're very overhyped, but almost every Atlas game I've played I've not enjoyed. Now here's Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I think it's one of the worst Mario and Luigi games if I remember right, but I still can't wait to replay it and play it all the way through, hopefully. And then we have some Fire Emblem games, which I am probably going to get rid of at some point, because they're just not clicking with me. I mean, I'm at the end of Awakening, I've only got like 6 missions left, and I just can't force myself to do it. I don't know, just something about it just becomes not fun. But then I can play something like Mercenary Saga, which is very similar, but it's literally just battle after battle, and I enjoy those way more than I do Fire Emblem. So, I don't know. I want to like these games. I don't want to get rid of them yet. But I also don't think I'm going to be able to force myself to like them, so I don't know. We'll see. I've got to be more picky with the games that I allow myself to keep. Now, we've got some River City Rival Showdown. This is a open world action beat 'em up type of game where you just go around and you can talk to people, you can fight people in the beat 'em up style, you can level up, you can do all kinds of things in this game. It's a lot of fun, and I really need to work on it because I probably only have a few hours left. But it's just a good one to pick up and play every now and then, beat some people up, level up a little bit, and not many people talk about it. I also bought it brand new for like $30, and yeah, highly recommend it. Then we have Metroid Samus Returns. This is a remake of the second game on Game Boy, I think. Something like that. But another thing, I've never finished a Metroid game. I need to because I love Metroidvania games, but I don't know. Metroid games just, every time I try to play them, they don't do it for me. Especially Metroid Prime. I do not like those. But I've played Metroid Fusion. I almost beat it, then I got distracted, and then this one I've never played, so I need to at least finish a Metroid game once. Because I've finished so many Metroidvanias, so why not? Play the thing that kind of started it all. Now, here's Super Mario 3D Land. Very basic Mario game, lots of fun, so not much to say about that. And then we have Zelda Ocarina of Time. I don't really know why I have this. I don't like Ocarina of Time much, but I guess I probably got it for a good deal. And I don't like getting rid of things, but I'm trying to make myself. Bravely's Second End Layer. I was trying to find this first game because I hate the first game. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, so Bravely Default 1. Don't recommend it. The first half of the game is fine, but after that, if you know, you know. It goes from good to shit in about a second. And I don't think I'll ever force myself to finish that. And because of that, I have not started this game yet because I'm sure it's not as bad, but at the same time, I don't want to start something that I'm scared I will hate. Which also sucks because I have the sequel, the second game on Switch as well. I know it has nothing to do with those two, but I'm hesitant to start that one as well because the first game was so awful. Now, then we have Zelda Link Between Worlds. I'm actually working on this one right now. It's been a ton of fun. I'm only at the second dungeon, I think, but good time. I remember playing as a kid. I don't think I got very far because I was really bad at games, especially Zelda games, since they don't really tell you where to go very well. This one kind of does, but as a kid, I was pretty dumb. So, I did not get far, but I'm going to try to beat it as an adult. Hopefully I can. I'm already at some difficult parts, so I don't know. Now, here's Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions, so it has a remake of the first game, and then Bowser's Minions, which I've heard is pretty good too. Or, no, I think it's Bowser's Inside Story that people love. So, I don't know, maybe Bowser's Minions is good. That's one I need to actually play. And then Superstar Saga, I'm halfway through it on the original copy of the Game Boy. So, I'll play that copy instead of this one. Then we have Kirby Triple Deluxe. I just rolled credits on this not too long ago. It was incredible. Probably one of the best Kirby games I've played. And I'm going to play Planet Robobot next, so hopefully that one's just as good. Alright, now, just got some DS games here. We got Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Not a very good game. I should probably sell that. But, I don't know, something about, like, mainline titles, Zelda games, Metroid games, they're hard to get rid of because, I don't know, they mean something to so many people. I wanna be part of that. But I'm not. Here's Dragon Quest IX. I still need to play this, but I got it because it's super clean, and I like the series, so I will get to it eventually. I need to play it before they remake it, since they've been doing that with everything. Now, here's Final Fantasy Ring of Fate, Final Fantasy Tactics A2, and that's the only Final Fantasies here in my lap. Yeah. So, Tactics, I mean, what more needs to be said about that? This one here, the Rings of Fate, is more of an action RPG type of game that you can play with a friend. So, can't go wrong with that. And then we have Final Fantasy Echoes of Time, so very similar to Rings of Fate, just action RPG that you can play with a friend. Very nice little games that are just more digestible than your typical turn-based game. Now, here's Lunar Dragon Song. Some idiot I used to work with recommended that I buy this, so I did, and I didn't look up how bad it was beforehand. Now I have it, and I will never play it because it's stupid. I put in a few minutes of it. I don't know what the hell that dude was smoking, but this is not a good game. He was also not a very good employee, so I don't know why I listened to him. But here is Suikoden Tierkreis, or however you say that. I have no clue. But this is just one of the Suikoden games that is not part of the mainline series, so I look forward to it. I've played a few minutes just to see what it's like, and it seems pretty cool. But again, I can't do RPGs right now. I'm not a massive one like that. Here's Contact. I've already beaten this game, thankfully. It was a pretty good time. It's just a fun, quirky little RPG where you play as... it's complicated, but I recommend it. It's very different, and it's actually probably one of the only Atlas games that I've ever played and liked. Yeah, I'm very picky about those, but that one was fun. Now, here's Dragon Quest VI, Realms of Revelation. I actually beat this recently, so I don't care if they remake it or not. I've already finished it and don't need it again. It was okay. I think it's one of the worst Dragon Quest games, so I'm glad to have it out of the way. And then we have Pokemon Pearl. I still need to get Diamond and so many others, but Pearl is a good one, especially since we don't have a good modern remake of it. We just have the BDSP, which is not good, but it's passable. I still prefer the originals. And then we got Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, the only Sonic RPG in existence. I don't know why it's hated so much. I'm playing it right now off and on, and I'm having a pretty good time. Like, it's nothing crazy, but it's a decent fun time, and I haven't really found anything to turn me off of it yet. Like, I'm sure there's something about it that people hate, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it for the most part, aside from the fact that you have to use the touchscreen for everything. I hate gimmicks, and I wish that the DSs did not have that, and I wish the Wii didn't have motion, but it is what it is. Now, here's Magical Star Sign, another one I'm kind of in the middle of. That's another thing. I've got to stop picking up games and putting them down. Like, I've got so many games that are half started, and now that I'm not in the mood for RPGs, it's going to take a while to get to certain ones that I've already started. So, hopefully one day I will roll credits on this. It seems really cute and fun so far, but until then. Now, here's Doodle Jump Journey. This is just a fun, stupid, action, platformy, arcade type of game to kill a few minutes here and there. I enjoy it. I'll probably hold on to it, but not much to it, really. And then we have Monster Lab, another one that's just very basic, and I don't know. Like, I'd sell it, but it's only a few dollars, so it seems pointless. But, I could probably kill a few more minutes on it. It's just a very basic, I don't know, kiddie game. And then we have a Naruto Ninja Council 3. I'll probably get rid of this one too. I don't think the gameplay was really, my sort of thing. And then we have Scooby-Doo First Frights. This one's a lot of fun. I would rather own it on PS2 though, so I will probably get rid of this copy, especially since it's not in the best shape. It's got some nasty stuff on the manual, so I'll probably look into getting it and getting rid of it so I can get a better copy on PS2. Because it's the same game, just looks better and plays better. Then we have a couple Game Boy games here that are Golden Sun and Star Ocean, the Blue Sphere. The only one that we did not get in the Americas, unfortunately. So I have this terrible repro here that the battery doesn't even save. So I've got to get a new copy because this one's basically trash. And I bought it from a company that wasn't super reputable, but also didn't have that many negative comments on them either. But I got this and I didn't test it for a few months. When I did, the battery did not save, so there's no way I could have exchanged it from that company, so I should have tested it first. But yeah, they sent me a broken one basically. I mean, the game works, but you can't save, so it's basically broken. And then we have Golden Sun, which I have tried to play through, and yeah, it was not really doing it for me. But I don't know, I'm getting so picky about RPGs. Like, if they're older, it pisses me off because you don't ever know where to go. I think I'll just stick with more modern RPGs for the most part, at least until I'm in the mood to get frustrated at something like that. And then I know a game fell back here, so I want to know what it is. Oh, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Color. Very good game. I had this as a kid. Love it. I did beat it as a kid, and I've been playing it off and on as an adult now, because all the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Games are not that great. So I've been enjoying this, and I want to get the Early Days collection on Switch now that that's a thing. But this is one that I grew up with and love it. It's one of the last good ones they made. And now we only have the Game Boy related stuff to get through. Starting with, like I said, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. I'm working on it right now. And then we also have the Banjo and Kazooie game that no one knows exists. The subtitle is Grunty's Revenge. But this one I really enjoy. It's more like if you've played the Spyro games on GBA, it plays similar to those in a way. It's isometric, and it's just a good collectathon adventure. And then I play everything on the analog pocket because it's awesome for the most part. It has a couple flaws, but it's better than other options, most options. Then I've got a few loose ones in here I'm trying to get to as well. We got the Smurfs Nightmare, which I would love to beat that because I love Smurfs. And then we have Bomberman Max, the first game. Max Champion, so it's not the red one. And then we have Duel Masters, which was a really fun trading card game similar to Magic back in the day. Got Monster Force, which is a top-down, stage-based action game, kind of like a Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Very similar to that. Lots of fun. I love that game. It's very underrated, I feel like. Then we have Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. Haven't put much time into that, but I would like to beat a Scooby-Doo game, because Scooby is awesome. Then we have Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, which is a turn-based RPG. It's only about 4 hours long, so I need to hurry up and beat it, but I actually soft locked my game. So I was about halfway through the game, and then I soft locked it to where I could not get an item that was for the story, so it does have problems, but it's really fun other than that. Now, here is The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Really difficult, but I would like to get through that at some point. Then I have another ROM here from that same company that sent me the Star Ocean that don't work. This is Pokemon Prism, but it does save, it works fine, and it's amazing. Like, I highly recommend Pokemon Prism and some other ROM hacks. I'm probably going to look into getting some more ROM hacks one day because modern Pokemon is not doing it for me. And all these ROM hacks and indie games that make Pokemon-like games, they're doing it for me. So now, let's get through this little case of awesomeness I have. We've got Lego Bionicle and R-Type 3, which is a repro. Then we've got Rebel Star, the Tactical Command. This is a strategy tactical type of game that no one knows of, and I haven't played yet, but I've kept it because I know it's very unique. I need to hurry up and try it, and actually make sure it works too. But yeah. And then we have another repro here. I've got a lot of repros for handhelds and cartridges in general, but this is one of the Resident Evil games that I think is really expensive if you own the real copy, so at least I have a way to play it, which I should probably try out since I haven't really played any Resident Evil games. I don't think that's a good one to start with, but still. Then we've got a Mega Man game here that is a repro. I need to get rid of these repros, or at least most of them. I don't have a point to keep them, but Mega Man 5 something, so yeah. And then we have Quest for Camelot. I would love to beat this just to make childhood me very happy. I had this as a kid, and I never got very far because it's just one of those games that doesn't really help. It doesn't really explain where to go very well, especially as a kid. And then we have Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Love these games. I need to play through them fully. I don't think I ever beat them as a kid because I was terrible at games and still am, but I had them as a kid and enjoyed them, so I would like to beat them. Here is Pokemon Time Force. Power Rangers Time Force. I'm tired apparently. Wow, I've already been doing this for an hour. Jesus. Okay, but yeah, Power Rangers Time Force, I could probably beat that in like an hour or so I should just do it. And then here is Pokemon Trading Card Game. Love it. I mean, there's not much to be said about that. I wish we got the sequel. I'm going to have to buy a repro of the sequel to get fan translation, but yeah, I will do that eventually. And then we have Castlevania Legends here. So another difficult one to find, like, officially, so this is a repro. But it's the third game and the best one on GBA from what I understand. And then we have Conker's Pocket Tales here. Pocket Tale Adventures, which not many people know exists, but it's one of the other Conker games and pretty good from what I can tell, but also not the best. Now here's Pokemon Green, which I think is real, and I would like to keep it just because of what it is. However, it's so hard to tell. I'm pretty sure this one's real. I could always open it up and double check, but Pokemon Green, just because I love Pokemon and mostly where they came from, not what they are now. But here's the Harry Potter Chambers of Secrets sequel to the other one, and it plays the same way, turn-based RPG. I'm not going to play it until I beat the first one, though. Even though I know what happens in the story, obviously. Now, and those games like follow the books and movies very well. So just so you know, the cutscenes are actually really cool. Here's Dragon Warrior Monsters, the first game. It's incredible. I was almost done with it, and then the analog pocket erased my save file. So I don't think that's a common thing for it to do. It hasn't happened since, but it happened because I put the console in sleep mode instead of turning it off, and then my save file was gone. So I will pick it up and play it again one day, but not yet. I'm still mad. Like, I was just getting the hang of it too, so at least if I pick it up again, I'll be able to know what to do a lot better, and I'll make more progress faster. Now, here's a couple real Mega Man games for the Game Boy. We got number 2 and number 3. And if you don't, I really need to play through these because I love the original Mega Man games. I just haven't really dabbled in the Game Boy stuff much, which would explain why my collection's so small. Plus, I like anything loose, like DS and 3DS related, I got rid of. So these are one of the only ones I carry loose because you can't really get the cardboard for these anymore for reasonable prices. Now, here is Bomberman Max 2. Haven't played that because I want to beat the first one first. I'm very picky about that. Now, here's Tiny Toons, Something Scary Dreams, I think. This is a repro, but it's a pretty fun game. Just a 2D platformer with, like, fighting mechanics and whatnot. Pretty cool. Then we have Final Fantasy Legend, which is not a Final Fantasy game. It is actually a... It's not a Mana game, it's a freaking... What is it? I can't remember. I just know that these weren't real Final Fantasy games. Like, they had a... Final Fantasy Adventure was a Mana game, and then the Legend games were something else entirely, I think. But they might actually be turn-based RPGs. They're just not Final Fantasy. I need to double check on the Legends games, and Legends 2 is the only one I own, so I need to get the first one first. Then we have Aliens, the Thanatos Encounter. I have not put much time into that yet. I did play it for a few minutes, but I literally cannot remember what the gameplay was like. Now, here's Batman Beyond. This was playing like a 2D beat-em-up, I want to say, with like 2D platforming stuff and whatnot. It seemed pretty fun. I just need to actually beat it. And then we have a bunch of repros that we're going to end on, basically. So I have Double Dragon, Pocky and Rocky, and CT Special Forces. So a beat-em-up, action arcade game, and then a shmup, I think. But yeah. Lots of repros. I got most of these from, what was that company called? Retro Games R Us, I think? Something like that. They have a good variety of stuff and decent quality. The only thing I got that did not work is Star Ocean Blue Sphere, and it does work, just no save file. So, they have decent games. Plus, they carry all the Pokemon ROM hacks. Now, up next and last, we have one more repro, which is Street Fighter Alpha 3. I don't need to keep that one. I don't like fighting games much. Then we have Tales of Fantasia, which I will be playing all the way through sometime. And then we have Shining Soul, which I would like to finish because I'm at least halfway through it, but it's a good action RPG, just very basic, and I think I was getting a little bored at the time because it was very redundant and basic and monotonous. But with that, I think that's everything. Aside from stuff I dropped on the floor, I think we got it all at only an hour, so doing good. That didn't take long at all. I thought it would be a lot quicker. I didn't realize I had that many games. I don't know how many that is. I'll have to count. But yeah, until next time, hope you all have a great day. Bye.